Potato Mustang here. I'm super excited for this video. It's not a sandwich review because I probably need to take a break from chicken sandwiches because I'm getting too fat in 2020, but maybe we'll get back to that. Anyways, I'm super excited because I just got my first project car, and as you can probably see from the title, it is a Fox body. For those of you who are not familiar with Fox bodies, it's the generation of Ford Mustang that was made from 1979 to 1993. And it's also the first Mustang that I ever rode in back when I was 11 years old. And it's the first Mustang that I ever drove back when I was probably 19 years old. So needless to say, I've always wanted one. And so I spent the last few weeks looking for a Fox body project. I set myself a budget of $5,000 and just, started looking around on Craigslist, on Let Go, on OfferUp. I even looked on eBay just to see what was out there. And at first I found a few cars that I thought, okay, this is like, there's a lot, a surprising amount of cars in my price range. And I didn't need them to be perfect. I just needed something that runs, that has potential, and was about the right price. So first I found an 1988 GT. I made the guy an offer, he accepted, and then at the last minute he backed out, decided he didn't want to sell the car. I was like, okay, shit, but I understand. And then I found a 1990 LX. I took it for a drive. I was really interested in it. I made the guy an offer. He said, I'll get back to you in a couple days. And then he's decided he didn't want to sell the car. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should temper my expectations. This might take longer than I expect. Then I found a 1992 GT on Craigslist. I exchanged a few emails with the guy, and then eventually he just ghosted me. I didn't hear anything back. I told him I would pay his asking price, and I just needed to see the car in person, and he never wrote back to me. So I'm telling myself, okay, this is never gonna happen. It's like, I need to find a car, but maybe I'll just take a break from looking for a car. But then I found a couple more cars not too far away. I was like, I'll take a look at these, and then if neither of these work out, I'll just take a break for a while and then look again later. So one of the cars that I came across was a 1988 GT, which I went and checked it out. It seemed like it was in pretty good shape, and I wasn't keen on the color. Also, it doesn't help that my wife does not like the color, but after checking it out and after seeing that the guy was really responsive to my questions and then ended up being receptive to my initial offer, I said, you know what, I think I'm gonna try and get this car. And yesterday I went and picked it up, and so here it is. This is my 1988 Mustang GT. As you can see, it's kind of got the Vanilla Ice sort of theme going on, minus being convertible with the white, and it has the red stripe that goes around on the side molding. And it's got stock wheels. Tires are brand new, but they're all seasons. It's got the greater headlights from the late 80s generations of the Mustang. It's got, the body's not perfect, but it's in pretty good shape, especially for how much I got it for, and I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, so first thing I want to show you is the interior of this car, because for being like 30 years old, this car, the interior is in incredible shape. I mean, it's not like, there's definitely cars that are in better shape, but look at these seats. These look like this car. There's no way that this car looks like it's 30 years old, at least based on the quality, the condition of the seats. And it's obviously it's this like very 80s maroon, dark red, whatever you want to call it, color. But again, for the year and the mileage, this car has about 145,000 miles on it. This is pretty impressive. I couldn't have asked for a better shape interior for the price of this car. And one thing that I have to show you, because this is like the most gangster shit ever is the shift knob that is on this car. Look at this thing. Bud, the king of beers. This thing is insane. Look how tall it is. It almost reaches the steering wheel. There's like 2 inches between the steering wheel and the shifter. So I saw a picture of this when I was looking at the car on the advertisement online, but I couldn't tell what it said. It just looked like a really tall, almost like a pimp cane kind of thing, like shifter. And I was like, I wonder what is the deal with that thing. And then I went and looked at the car in person, and I saw it through the window, and I was like, is that Budweiser? Oh my God. And I asked the guy, I said, I have to ask, did you put this on the car, or did it come on the car when you got it? He was the second owner, I'm the third owner. And he was like, I just got it because I thought it matched the interior of the car. And I was just like, I was trying not to crack up, but I totally understood where he was coming from, because, I mean, is there anything more 1980s than like a red interior on a Mustang with a Budweiser King of Beers like shift knob that is like 7 inches tall? Yeah, this thing is awesome. Also, it has this, I'm not even sure what, it's Alpine, of course. It has an Alpine CD player, which looks like it has MP3 functionality. And when I turned the car on, and I saw that, I was just listening to the radio, but then I saw that the guy that I bought the car from had left a CD in the car. I was thrilled to see, oh, that noise is annoying. I was thrilled to see that it was Wheezy, the Carter 4. Nice job, dude. Anyways, yeah, so the interior is in really good shape. Back seat's also in really good shape. Let's take a look at the, actually I think I have to put the key back in. Another thing I'm getting used to is using one key that says the family of fine cars, Ford, to get in and out of the car, and another key to start the ignition. And I believe you have to have the key in the ignition to use the buttons here, and one of them is to pop the trunk. Oh, actually, is it? I wonder if it's not, or maybe the car has to be on. Ah, there you go. To pop the trunk, and also to pop the fuel door, which is on, the fuel door in this car is on the passenger side, which confused the shit out of me, because I also drive a 2014 Mustang, and I just assumed that all Fords had the fuel door on the driver's side. So I definitely looked like an idiot for a moment when I went to get gas the first time. All right, check out the hatch. So we have this vinyl cover in case you want to put anything in the hatch, and have it not be spotted by thieves through the glass. Also, check out this gangster 1990s subwoofer setup with plywood, and also I'm not familiar with this brand, but it says Pile Driver 2, and there's a little piece of wood that keeps the box pressed up against the back of the back seat. There's a little amplifier back here. So when I was listening to the radio, I couldn't figure out how to get these things bumping, but I did notice that there's a remote control, which is also super 90s / early 2000s. So I'm gonna have to try and mess around with that, see if I can get some little wheezy bumping in the 88 GT. I also had to get used to using a hood latch on the other side and kind of moving in the opposite direction. There we go. So here is obviously the main focus of the project. This is the pushrod 5-liter V8, pretty iconic if you've been in the car scene. I mean, it's compared to some of the engines that are available today, it's obviously not anything crazy out of the box, but I have to say, like, just driving it from the seller's house to my house, and taking it for a quick spin to get breakfast, it's pretty torquey, and it's like, it feels a lot faster than you would expect with only having around 215, 220 horsepower. I mean, maybe it has more than that because it does have some sort of K&N intake with a cone filter. Looks like the intake manifold is stock. I think it has shorty headers, definitely has an off-road X pipe and some sort of catback exhaust. There is, I looked underneath the car and there is subframe connectors. The car is definitely burning some oil and leaking some oil, which will be my first troubleshooting project, but I'm pretty happy considering that I kept it within my budget and I was able to drive it here with no problems. So this is a pretty exciting day for me. I'm excited to kind of document my my process of kind of sort of resto modding this car, like, you know, bringing it back to you know, better condition in terms of the body. Not, you know, it doesn't have to be, it's not gonna be a show car, but I just want it to look a little bit more clean, a little bit more you know, nice, and then also do some modifications on the engine so I can have it running strong, and also maybe do a few track days, maybe take it to do a test and tune. So yeah, maybe we can take it for a quick spin. Seatbelt, super long seatbelt. All right. Also, this is a 5-speed, so I have to remind myself that that reverse is down and to the right, as opposed to where it is on my 6-speed. Watch my head. Another thing that's funny about this car is the side view mirrors are super tiny, but that's fine. I mean, I guess it is a smaller car than the 2014. Yeah, it's definitely got some torque, but we are in the neighborhood, so I'm not going to drive super fast because safety first. And I sometimes have to remind myself, well, I've been having to remind myself when I've been driving that sometimes I'll put the car in, like, I'll shift the car earlier than I need to, especially at low speeds. I just got barked at by a chihuahua, mean looking chihuahua. Let's go this way. Another cool thing about having a car that's not like super obnoxious fast by 2020 standards is that you can drive it closer to its limit. Like, you can drive the car harder and you're not driving obnoxiously, if that makes sense. I think you sometimes hear auto journalists talk about this, like the idea that it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. I think that is probably true. So one thing I noticed in the pictures when I was looking at this car is that they have these, I don't know, like shades that go over just the top of the door, like on the window on the door. So at first I was like, you know, that kind of looks a little bit trashy. Like, I don't like the way it looks. I mean, of course, this isn't a 1988 Mustang GT, so you might think that this is a trashy car even without those things. But and then last night I was driving and it was raining a little bit, and so I don't smoke, but like, I guess that one of the things that you can use this for is smoking. But like, I had the window cracked just like on both sides to like let a little bit of air in, and it was kind of nice. Like, it helped to keep the windshield from fogging up and let a little bit of cool air in. I'm pretty sure this car does not have air conditioning, or it doesn't work, so that's a good thing, especially when it's raining. And I'll probably just keep them on until somebody on a forum tells me that they look trashy and stupid, and then I'll get self-conscious and take them off. Thank you for watching.